Hey guys, it's Rachel from Hope Corner Farm. By day, I'm a home ec teacher who teaches hundreds of students how to crochet, quilt, sew, and cook. And today I'm going to teach you how to crochet the thermal half double crochet stitch. Just like the thermal single crochet stitch, the thermal half double crochet stitch gives you a lovely, dense, thick fabric that works great in projects like a pot holder, washcloth, anything really where you need a thicker, more sturdy fabric as a finished product. So if you're ready to learn how to crochet the thermal half double crochet stitch, let's grab a hook and some yarn and we'll get crocheting. Before we get started, make sure you subscribe to my channel, hit the bell so you get notifications of when I post new videos, and don't forget to give me some feedback on this video. Give me a like or a comment, let me know what I did well or things that I could improve upon. So for the thermal half double crochet stitch, you're going to need a yarn of some sort. Now I'm going to tell you if you're using it for like a pot holder or something that needs a little bit of heat resistance, you're going to want to use a cotton yarn. So I'm using this 24/7 cotton yarn from Lion brand. It's a size 4 yarn, and then I'm going to use an H hook. Again, if you're using it for a washcloth or something that needs some heat resistance, you're going to want to use a cotton yarn, not an acrylic. So for the thermal half double crochet stitch, you can use any number of stitches that you want. So I've got a chain of 11 here to get started for this sample. Now if you need to see how to chain in slower, more detailed moves, I'm going to include a link to a video below that takes that a lot slower and in more detailed moves. I'm also going to include a link for a regular half double crochet stitch because that's what we're actually going to do for row 1 here, is we're just going to put a row of regular half double crochet stitches into the chains. What we're going to do here for row 1 is we're going to put a regular half double crochet in each chain across here, starting with the second chain from the hook. One thing I want to point out is each chain has 3 parts or 3 legs that I call it to it. So there's 1 part, 2 parts, and 3 parts. Now for a thermal half double crochet, when I insert my hook for the half double crochet for that row 1, I want to pick up 2 of those legs and put them on the top part of my hook, and 1 leg goes on the bottom. So I'll show you what this looks like. So like a regular half double crochet, I'm going to yarn over first. Now I'm coming to the second chain from the hook. I'm going to insert this right here. So 2 parts or 2 legs of that chain are on the top of my hook, and 1 leg or 1 part is on the bottom. Doing it this way, we're going to make sure that we have a beautiful rolled hem at the end of this thermal half double crochet stitch. Now we're going to yarn over, pull through that chain. Now there's 3 loops on my hook. I'm going to yarn over, pull through all 3 loops, and that completes 1 regular half double crochet. Yarn over, insert here, putting 2 legs on top, yarn over, pull through. Now I've got 3 loops on my hook, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops. I'm going to repeat this process all the way across here until I have a good row of half double crochets that we're going to then turn into thermal half double crochets as we go on up. So again, yarn over, insert into the chain, yarn over, pull through the chain, yarn over, pull through all 3. Yarn over, insert, yarn over, pull through, 3 legs on my hook, yarn over, pull through all 3. Yarn over, insert, yarn over, pull through. Now there's 3 loops on my hook, yarn over, pull through all 3. Now here's my last chain. Yarn over, insert, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through all 3. I might tighten this up just a hair right there. So now I have my chains that I've now put a half double crochet in. So I should have 10 of them here because I had 11 chains, but I skipped 1 at the beginning. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Now we're ready to move on to row 2 of the thermal half double crochet stitch. So for row 2, we're going to start by chaining 1. Now if I were doing a regular half double crochet row, I would turn my work like this and work across it like this. I am not going to do that with a thermal half double crochet. I'm going to chain 1, and I'm actually just going to kind of tilt this just a little bit. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to yarn over like I would for a regular half double crochet stitch. I'm going to come and I'm going to pick up this back loop and this loop that I didn't use from that chain and crochet them together. So let me show you what this looks like. If I hold this out here, let's see if I can get that held out really nicely. Hopefully you can see. I'm going to hold it this way because that's how I'm going to be working. I'm going to crochet this loop to that loop, this loop to that loop. So now what we're going to do, since I've chained one, I'll move that yarn tail out of the way. I'm going to yarn over like I would. I'm going to come pick up this loop, come down here, and pick up this unused loop from the chain. Now that's what that looks like there. I'm going to yarn over, pull through the 2 loops that we just picked up. Now I've got 3 loops on my hook. I'm going to yarn over, pull through all 3 loops. That completes 1 thermal half double crochet. So what we're doing by putting those loops together is we're kind of folding this piece in half, and that's what makes it extra thick for the thermal stitch. So we're going to yarn over, pick up this back loop, come down here, pick up the unused loop from the chain, yarn over, pull through 2. Now I've got 3 loops on my hook. Yarn over, pull through all 3. Yarn over, come on down and pick up the back loop and the unused loop. Yarn over, pull through 2. Now I've got 3 loops on my hook. Yarn over, pull through all 3 loops. So hopefully as they're starting to get a little bit closer, you can see how they should be matched up. Those 2, those 2, those 2, those 2, there, there, and there. Yarn over, back loop, unused loop, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through all 3. Yarn over, back loop, unused loop, yarn over, pull through. So I'm going to hurry across this row here so I can show you what an additional row of thermal half double crochets looks like. Continuing to pick up just 1 loop, 1 back loop, and the unused loop, a back loop, unused loop, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through all 3. Yarn over, back loop, unused, yarn over, pull through 2, 3 loops on my hook, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops. Now here we are to our very last stitch. These get a little harder to see here, but these 2 loops right here are the 2 that we're going to crochet together. So yarn over, pick up both of those loops, yarn over, pull through those 2 loops. Now there's 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops. And that completes the second row of thermal half double crochet stitches. I'll show you what the next row looks like. So for the next row of thermal half double crochet stitches, again, we're going to chain 1, and we're just going to kind of turn like this, because for this row, we're going to pick up this unused loop, or this back loop, and this unused loop. This loop will go to that one to that one, that one to that one, and we're just going to continue thermal half double crocheting. So we're going to yarn over, pick up the back loop, come on down, pick up the unused loop, yarn over, pull through those 2 loops. Now there's 3 loops on the hook. Yarn over, pull through all 3 loops. Yarn over. Now you have to be careful here and really pay attention if you get confused, because it looks like you could pick up this loop again, but if you notice, that's the one I just worked into. So we're going to go to the next one, and we're going to pick up that bottom loop that we didn't use from the previous row. Yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through all 3. Yarn over, back loop, unused loop, yarn over, pull through 2. Now I've got 3 loops on my hook. Yarn over, pull through all 3. Yarn over, or back loop, unused, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 3. Yarn over, back loop, unused, and you have to be careful because sometimes your hook wants to go pick up more. You just have to make sure to only pick up 2 loops there. Yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 3. I'm going to hop over to the end here, and I'll show you how to count these thermal half double crochet stitches, because you really want to make sure you're getting all the spaces that you need. Otherwise your stitch count is going to change, and you want to keep your stitch count the same across the row and across the entire project. Whoops, my loop came off there. Yarn over, pick these 2 up. Now I've got 1 more stitch left here, and again it gets harder to see here in this mess down at the end. So this little guy right here is the unused loop I'm going to pick up, or the back loop, sorry, and this guy right here is the unused loop, so it gets a little hard to see. So again, this guy and that guy, those 2. So yarn over, come and pick up that back loop, that unused loop, yarn over, pull through the 2, yarn over, pull through all 3. So to count these, if you look at the top here, You can see all those V's just like any regular crochet stitch. This first one here kind of slants down just because we're rolling fabric together. But you can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, which is exactly how many we should have. So the more rows you get, the easier it becomes to see which pieces you're picking up and crocheting together. So if you look at this, for the next row, I'm going to take my crochet hook off here. For the next row, you would get this back loop and that loop, this one and that one, this one and that one. So these are my unused loops that I'm crocheting into, and these are the back loops that I'm going to crochet into. Again, this one kind of tilts down here at the bottom, so you have to really pay attention to it. I'm going to get a bigger swatch that has a few more rows to kind of show you what it looks like the more rows you get. It gets to be easier to see the more rows of thermal half double crochets that you have. But look at this lovely thick rolled edge that we have as well. So I'm going to grab my bigger sample and show you what it looks like the more rows you have. So I just wanted to show you what this looks like once you have gotten a few rows completed. First thing I want to point out is look at that lovely rolled edge that we get with this, and also look how thick that fabric is. That's why we use this thermal half double crochet for things that need a little bit thicker of a fabric. So just like all the previous rows, we're going to start by chaining one, and then we're going to turn. Now we're going to yarn over, and then we're going to come down through this space and come down here, and this is going to be the hardest one to see. We're going to pick up this little loop right here. We'll yarn over, pull through those 2 loops. Now there's 3 loops on our hook. Yarn over, pull through all 3. Yarn over. Now this is where it gets easier to see. We're going to pick up this loop. We're going to come down here, pick up this loop. Yarn over, pull through both of them. Yarn over, pull through all 3. Yarn over, pick up this loop and this loop. Yarn over, pull through both. Yarn over, pull through both. So they get closer together, I feel like, and they pop a little bit more the more rows that you do this, or maybe it's just I get a better hang of it. I don't know. But either way, I feel like it gets easier the more rows you complete with a thermal half double crochet stitch, because I feel like it just gets easier to see. So again, we're going to pick up this back loop and this loop right here that we didn't use in the previous row. And that's the thermal half double crochet stitch. I hope you guys found this tutorial helpful. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, hit the bell so you get notifications of when I post new videos, and I hope you guys have a blessed day.